Right, this is the kit. You can purchase it off Amazon. It's about $12.99. I'll put the link below. So if you are interested in purchasing this, if you click the link, I will get a small percentage, which helps towards the channel. So when you get the kit itself, it is quite good. If you've got a puncher at the side of the road and nailing or anything like that, we need to do things in a certain order. And the first thing is we need to find the puncher. So roll your car and get the hole or the nail or anything as far up to the top as possible, or where you can access it easily. What we'll need to do then is we'll need to use one of these, a pair of long nose pliers. Now these are brand new, they've still got the shrink wrap on. They seem to be pretty good quality, to be honest, in this kit. Not bad at all. I'm not going to take them out yet, but no, they seem to be okay. So yeah, looks like a good quality pair of pliers there, or long nose pliers, that we can get hold of the screw and we can pull the screw out the tyre. As soon as we do that, we're going to be hearing a lot of air hitting out of the tyre. So we need to, as quickly as possible, we need to get that stopped. So what we can use next, we can use what's called the reaming tool. Now this tool, you poke it through the hole and it widens the hole, just in case it's not big enough. And you'd poke it through the rubber tyre. It is quite hard to poke in, and then you'd rub it in and out a few times. Now, if this is a bit awkward to get in, which sometimes it is, you need to put a bit of lubricant on. And thankfully, inside the box or inside the case, they put a bit of lubricant. So you put the lubricant on the end, and that'll help it slide in and out the tyre to make it a bit easier. It can be a bit hard. It can be a bit hard to push through. Once that's in and you've got it reamed out, you can leave that in place. It'll stop any more air coming out. So that's the reaming tool. We then go to the actual insertion tool. Now this, it puts what's called a worm, a rubber worm in. Some of these worms come in black and some of them come in a browny reddy colour. Here's one here out of another pack. They're really sticky and tacky. They've got like a cement on it. So this, sometimes they dry up. This one's okay, so just check them. They could go out of date. Follow the instructions with the manufacturer. So while that's inside the tyre, next thing we need to do is we need to feed this worm through this little gap. Now this is open at this end, and that's for a reason. We'll come to that in a minute. So the easiest way to do this that I've found is you squeeze the end and flatten it. Once you've squeezed it and it's flat, you can then push it through the insertion tool as much as you can and pull it through. So you pull it through so you've got an even amount each side, and then this folds down, and there's a reason for that, because you're not going to be able to push it through the tyre. If you need to put a bit more lube on, it's not a problem. We can stick a bit more on the end, help it go in, help it slide into the hole, and then you would. So before we push this through the hole, we'll need to remove the reaming device out of the tyre. So with a good pull, you'll be able to pull this reaming device out, and that'll leave sufficient hole for this to be able to slide in. If you need to put a bit more lubrication on it, then put it on, and then we can slide this through the hole. Now you want about a quarter of an inch leaving showing outside the tyre, on the tyre tread. So you need about a quarter of an inch showing outside the tyre tread, which would be about that much. Once you've got that in there and it's inside the tyre, unfortunately I ain't got a tyre to show you at the minute, we would then turn the reaming tool about a quarter turn and we would pull it out. And what it does is, there is a slit here, so it would pull the worm out. The worm would come out the tyre. Sorry, the worm would stay in the tyre, and this would come out, and you would end up with this poking out the tyre. And that's it. That's the tyre sealed. If you need to, it then comes with a little bit of a blade, and what we can do is we can just take the rest of the worm off so it's flush with the tyre, so you're not getting any thudding while you're driving down. But you will have to pump the tyre back up afterwards, but that should hold. It's not a permanent fix, it's a temporary fix until you can get your tyre repaired. So that's the worms. It's got 20 worms with it. It's got the lubrication, a little tub of lubrication, which you will have to use. It is quite difficult to put them in sometimes. You've got the insertion tool, you've got the pliers, you've got a spare reamer in case you break one. Now it does have an Allen key there, so we can undo the Allen key and we can take the reamer out and replace the reamers. Thankfully it comes with an Allen key. So inside this little bag we've got a valve core removal tool. So not only is this for punctures, if your valve, if you're pumping up your tyre and your valve starts passing, you can actually use this valve core removals tool. Goes inside, you can screw it out like that, take the valve out, get a new valve and screw the new valve back into place, and that's what that's for. And don't forget, there's your Allen key, which we can remove. We can remove the reaming device and replace it with a new one if for any reason we damage it, or it needs replacing, or if we've lost it for any reason. So that's that. And we've also got a roughly 20 worms. Like I say, these sometimes come in different colours, in the red or the black. It doesn't matter, and they're also in different sizes. If you need to, if the hole's too big, if it's a big screw, if it's a big tech screw or something like that, you might have to put 2 in if you can't seal it with 1. But it is a temporary fix, and it will get you off the motorway and get you to a safe area, rather than waiting for an hour or 2 for the services.